Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're well. So today I wanted to do something a little interesting, as the title of this video is, and I wanted to speak on what my favorite Pokemon of every type is. I saw this graphic a couple months ago. I've saved it, and then when my moderator Blue told me he wanted me to do this, so let's do it, shall we? All right. So I pulled this graphic, I think, off of Twitter. I might be wrong about that. Let me just move this over here. There, that's better. All right, cool. So, we have all the Pokemon types, and let's get started. So the first for grass I picked was Rowlet. Rowlet is a very good bean, and I love him very, very much. He's my favorite grass type personally, and here's the thing: I have other favorites. These are just the ones that in this moment that I picked. For example, I didn't pick Piplup for water. I obviously picked something else, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't have. If I had more options, I wouldn't have put Piplup there. Fire has to go to Fuecoco. I love Torchic. I love that line. I love the Colossal line. I love the Chimchar line a lot. But Fuecoco has to be, I think, my favorite fire type starter, personally, beating out everybody else. Fuecoco is just he looks so fucking stupid. I love him, and Skeledirge is a great sweeping tank. Next up is obviously Mudkip. That goes without saying. I have a plush of here. Whenever somebody subscribes to on my live notifications, it's a freaking Mudkip pixelated thing. It goes without saying. Next up is going to be Slacking. There is going to be a lot of Gen 3 representation. I was in my first game was Pokemon Sapphire. Pokemon Emerald is my favorite Pokemon game of all time. Like, I even though genuinely Platinum might be better, like, I still stand Emerald every day, all day, all day. I have copies of it, and I play it to this day. Slacking is great. He's basically another pseudo legendary. The only reason he's not classified as such is because of his shitty ability. But he also like can take a hit, so it's like when you're just playing the game like normal, he'll just steamroll shit. It's great. Joltik. I don't have a lot of fond electric types, and personally, Joltik is kind of the one that I feel most emotionally close to, like the one that I like the most. It beat out Raikou by a hair's breadth just because I think he's just, small bean, and I like cute little things. They're very good. Metagross. I'm definitely playing into the typing here. There were some Pokemon that I love the entire line, and because of that, I was able to get their last one as a freebie. Just saying. Metagross I love. I love the pseudo legendaries from Gen 3. Although I love Metagross more than I love Salamence, that is an objective fact. Metagross is my boy. I love him to death. I will stand forever. Next up is fighting Lucario. I always there are very few Pokemon that I feel as strongly about that are not in Gen 3 as I do Lucario. I like Lucario a lot, and in fact, in games where I have to pick between putting a Flygon on my team and Lucario, it is a difficult choice at times, and I actually have to think about team composition at that point rather than just my feelings. Aggron. Goes without saying, one of my favorite steel types from Hoenn. In the original games, it was actually kind of easy to get one. You could, because you would run into him and he could kind of carry you. It was really nice. Didn't really like how with the remakes, like you had to go all the way to Mauville City just to get a bike, so then you could go get an Aggron. I found that to just kind of kill the pacing a little bit, although I'm happy that they changed how the Dewford Tunnel functioned, so it wasn't a pain in the ass slog to deliver the Devon goods. That was definitely like the worst part of the game in my memory as a kid. So, but regardless, Aggron is best boy rock type. I love him. Again, I would have put Colossal here, but Aggron exists, so it is what it is. Flygon goes without saying. I mentioned him earlier. Flygon is my favorite. Is probably my favorite dragon type, I think. But there was another. I needed to fit something else. I needed to fit Garchomp in Dragon, so that is what it is. I mean, I probably could have put Flygon in Dragon, swapped them or whatever, but honestly, I wanted to get Flygon on the board as soon as possible because he's important to me and I love him. Also, Trapinch is a little moron and he's stupid looking and I love him to death. Salamence, again, without saying, Salamence is a flying type. I love their entire line. This is one of the cheat ones I did where I sort of like, I love the entire line of Mons, and I just kind of like use Salamence as a way to like get him in there in a way that made sense for me. So one of the things you're also going to notice is that I'm generally fond of a lot more Pokemon in later generations now, along with Gen 3, Gen 4, and then like Generation 7, 8, and 9, I tend to like a lot of the designs of the Pokemon in there, although not as many in Gen 9 as I did maybe in Gen 8 as I did in Gen 7. But Wimpod is a great mon. I love his Wimp Out ability and Gilceopod's emergency exit. I think they're really great leads. I like First Impression a lot. It hits like a fucking freight train. It's great. I love it. And Wimpod is just a great mon. I love him to death. He was a pain in the ass to catch though. That's for damn sure. Salazzle. Was a great... I liked Salazzle's design. I liked its ability. I liked the Poison Fire. It gave me coverage when I was playing the Gen 7 games that I didn't necessarily have. I caught a Salazzle and used it in Generation 8, I believe, as well, because just because it's amazing. Salazzle, I think, did a really, really great job. Is a great mon. It's a pain in the ass to get, but I liked its design. I liked its abilities. I liked its design, and generally, like, I don't have a lot of strong attachments to a lot of poison types. This is the one that I think kind of took the cake for me. Roaring Dark Moon. This one was a toss-up between this and Greninja, but I honestly love the redesign of Salamence as the Roaring Moon so much, and it's a fucking freight train blowing Salamence out of the water. And I think it's just so cool, like the kind of like moon god kind of Aztec-y kind of looking thing. I like it a lot, and it's one of my favorite showings from the newest generations. I could have put, Greninja here. I could have put Shift Tree here, but honestly, I think just because Roaring, like the Roaring Moon just kind of like made such an impression on me. I was just really impressed. I really liked it a lot. Mimikyu is a good little bean. I love his little story. I love his backstory. I think he's adorable, and I think he deserves all the hugs in the world. Enough said. Plus the disguise ability is an excellent ability. Much respect. Spheal is a good little bean. I love him a lot. I don't like a whole ton of ice types. Snom probably might have gotten this slot, but I love Spheal. They're adorable, and I had to. I'm so sorry, but like it's Spheal. Look at him. Look at his face. He's just doing a Spheal pog. Spheal pog. All right, time for Steel. Shieldon, or Sheldon. Shieldon is basically, like, I love his little face, I love his little tail, I love his little body. My favorite of all of the, even more than Gen 3. Shieldon I like a lot more than, I love more than any other, Fossilmon. Genuinely awesome. I love him to death. And I think he's adorable. I think he's very, very good, and I think it makes sense to put him here in the Steel category. Dragon, I mentioned earlier, Garchomp. Garchomp, I love Gible. I think he's a little dumbass. I love Garchomp. I always play him when I'm playing Gen 4. I always make sure to go out of my way to get one. Very, very good. I love him to death. And lastly, Gardevoir for Fairy. Fuck all of y'all who keep making horny posts of this Pokemon. This is my childhood. This carried me through a lot of the game, and when I played Emerald, and I hate all of you for Rule 34ing her, and I hope you die in a hole. But yeah, essentially, this is my favorite Pokemon of each type. I will be posting, when I post this ahead of time to the Patreon. Patrons always get my Wednesday videos first. Not only will they be getting this first, I'll also post this graphic on the Patreon as well. Thank you, my patrons, but for everybody else who sees this when we see it, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Here are all of these. I genuinely would appreciate it if you'd consider joining the Patreon. You get to see all my Wednesday videos first, as well as Monday, like every other Monday exclusive videos. That's pretty cool too. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys